Today we are talking about something I think is so game changing that it breaks my little lizard brain just trying to think about it. We are talking about Everest, the Everest project, and how I believe it is going to change the future on identification, on verification for identification. That rhymed. My name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to one Bitcoin. I'm a brand new crypto investor. I consider myself lizard brain, gorilla arm, diamond handed cowboy exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency. And I'm just exploring, I'm finding out like all this new technology and how I believe it's going to change the future financial systems of the world. So if you want to follow along with me on that journey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell for any new and timely updates. And of course, give me a thumbs up if you are, if you're just feeling like a generous person today. A lot of people don't hit that thing. And I'm just going to ask you if you're feeling generous. Now, the Everest token, right? This project is like it breaks my brain just thinking about it. So let me kind of paint a few scenarios for you. What happens when a single mom, who's got kids to feed, loses her job and then has to go and apply for help, for financial aid? Well, she has to provide, how she lost the job. She has to provide these documents. She has to provide, like how much she used to make and how, like the kids. She has to provide all this identification to show her, the people, hey, I am who I say I am, and I need this help. And that process could take days or weeks, or if not months. And so that can be a very slow process. The next thing, how about, have you ever started a business? And when you start a business, you have to go through you have to register your business. You have to register who you are. You got to bring in your social security. You got to get your employee ID identification number. And I don't know how else to do it in other countries, but I mean, like to register and to become legit, you've got to go through some hoops here to proving who you are. Another thing, buying a house. Oh my goodness, one of the most painful things in the world, but you want to do because you want your house. I just did this. Look, I had to give them my whole life, like, okay, my bank statement 2 months back and my W-2s, my tax identity from last year and this and this and this. And I had to, stack them my whole life. And this is my identity on paper, and I had to give it to them. My grandma, my Lola, she had her identity stolen, and to get it back, like some Yahoo was using her credit card overseas, and to get it back, she had to go through months to try to get her identity back. And so here's what Everest ID is seeking to do. They're seeking to streamline the decision-making process of verification for your identity. It's like when you go to the club and that bouncer is like looking at your ID and looking at you, like, okay, that happens in a club, and that's like, it's dark. Sometimes they don't feel like it, and it's based on basically them. And what Everest ID is trying to source that all and make sure that's all digitized and using and leveraging blockchain technology to completely do that. So I mean, that's kind of my description of it, and we'll get more into like the use cases for sure. Right now we're going to go into the charts here sitting at 57 cents for one Everest ID. Looks like their all-time high was $1.80, and then dropped because of the crash and all that kind of stuff. And I'm no financial advisor. I'm just a cowboy, so don't sue me. And this is not financial advice, but it looks pretty good. It looks like a good spot to enter in. I mean, I wish I got it in like just a couple days ago, but this is good. I think a good buy, and the ascending value here. Certainly the use case is amazing. Now, I thought this was funny when I was reading it, so just humor me as I read this. The Everest Foundation offers stakers, e-agents, e-tellers, and cost-competitive vertically integrated solution from Everest Networks for onboarding an account integrated with KYC plus compliance and the ability to effectively resell Everest supplied services such as DeFi lending, blah 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 blah, the lending, the DeFi services, e-service traders. It doesn't make sense. Whoever wrote this, they're writing gibberish. I feel like they're just grabbing random words and just throwing it in there and just trying to be smart. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I got a little lizard brain. I need things broken down like just simply, okay? So what I did was we go to the website, and this is kind of what it is. So it is it's a way to verify your identity without the use of a device. Okay, the individual will own their own information and control their information, and it will be shared selectively and be resilient to attacks. So we could go through one of these at a time. All individuals will include without advice. What they mean by this is they take biometric data. Basically, what that means is if someone takes a picture of you, the friggin' computer scans it and knows who you are, right? I don't know how it works, but it does some like Terminator stuff, and then it show that's a way to prove that you're verifying. So like we have a school here, and when I go up there, you gotta like scan your eye and fingerprint your thumb. Okay, that's a way to prove that you are who you say you are. That they don't include it here, but it also includes a PIN number and all that stuff. So you could essentially not have a phone because they don't have this in a lot of people don't have the ability to have like a real good smartphone or whatever. So the magistrate or the government official or whatever, they would take a picture of the person, and then they would ask them to put their PIN in, and then be like, oh, okay, yeah, you've got these credits allotted to you. Yeah, this is who you say you are. And so yeah, that's that. Now, one scary thing is that, hey, if I've got all my information stored in one spot, what happens there? Now, as it is right now, the banks own our information. They own our identity, and they could do with our identity and information whatever they please to. They have all this information. They have our spending records. They have our loan. They have our history. They have all this stuff, and they could sell that, and they do. They sell that to third-party vendors for whatever reason. They want to sell us stuff, or they want to target us, or whatever reason. They sell that stuff. That information belongs to them, not us. Now, what Everest is trying to do is they want to reverse that. They want to source all of our identity, our information to us on blockchain. What this means is that, one, it's secure. It's fully private. That it's unhackable. Like a bank, you could be hacked there. The data could be hacked there, but the blockchain is not hackable. And two, it's also transparent. We could, you could see where the transactions go. You could see like if someone pays their, bill, and then it registers them. It puts all their information on this on the blockchain. And also you could choose to share which piece of information you want to share with different people or with different organizations. So I thought that was very, very cool, as far as being both simultaneously private and transparent at the same time, and encrypted, obviously. And all information will be shared selectively and be resilient against attack. I already talked about the shared selectively, but resilient against attack is like, so there's multiple layers to this security to prevent fraud, right? You got the biometrics, you have your PIN, you got your blockchain, it's all encrypted. And you could essentially lose your phone, lose your IDs, I lose my wallet all the time, okay? And I get worried. But if I had this, essentially a cop, if I'm driving without a license, a cop can go up to me, take the picture of Aaron, look at my ugly face and say, oh, okay, yeah, it looks like you just lost it. Aaron, get your driver's license. Or maybe in the future, there probably won't even be a need for driver's licenses. I don't know if this is that widespread. Now, a couple of use cases that I thought of, this could speedline and streamline alimony, welfare, financial aid, DMVs, loans. Like, how when I applied for a loan, I had to take my like electric bill to the financial aid office and try to apply for a loan for school, hiring for jobs, permits to build a building. So when you have to do like new construction, you're trying to build like a building for your business, you got to go through all these hoops, and you got to prove who you are, and you got to prove how much you make and all this stuff, blah 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 blah. And it takes a long time. Believe me, it takes a long time to get permitted. And so you could really streamline that. Healthcare insurance claims, a lot of times, like these claims, not just in healthcare, but like accident insurance and all this kind of stuff, automobile insurance, these claims, housing insurance, right? These claims can take months to try to just prove and verify who you are. Have you ever been owed money when working at a job, and they owe you like more commission or more hours or whatever? you could then prove it and be like, hey, you know what, you could do. And instead of like having like this pen and paper, like, you know, it doesn't make sense. You know, this is 21st century. We need something like this. Another thing that I think this could be used for is voting. There's no more like this whole like A is hacked or it's not hacked, you know, none of that anymore. So I just thought this is like real game breaking stuff. Like, this is the type of technology. Like, we're not talking about no Inus out here. We're not talking about like, you know, shoot up to the moon rocket Inu. You know, like, this is not it. There's a lot of all those other coins. This is like really game changing stuff, and it breaks my little lizard brain. But you know what? I mean, I'm no financial advisor. I'm just a cowboy. I think you should invest. I think I'm going to. So, hey, to the moon, right? To the moon. I've just got a little lizard brain, gorilla arms, diamond hands. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the moon.